So I did not bring you up to have an intellectual conversation. We don't really do intellectual conversations on Clubhouse. There are no intellectuals on here. Maybe there's a hidden one. Maybe Steve Crew. A lot of the room was dull. Reform was literally reading stuff that was popping up on her. If you don't want to have a conversation, you don't have to have a conversation. I don't know how we got to fucking feminism, but if you want to talk about feminism, we'll follow your lead, sir. So go ahead and ask your questions about feminism. We're actually gonna follow your lead, sir. What would you like to discuss on feminism? Is somebody speaking?
No.
Okay, here Kenny, excuse me, my leader Kenny wants to know what you all think about feminism because there's a everyone's a lot. So we can't talk about that. Talk about possible presidential corruption, billions of dollars in tax dollars, how people that got pardoned from Trump, they're pardoning. We can't talk about. Go ahead, Mike. Who wants to say something about feminism? Kenny, would you like to define what feminism is, sir, since it's your topic? Why don't you define what feminism is so we have a shared language? If you don't,
I actually don't have a definition for it. I'm curious what your definition is for it.
well, I didn't bring up the topic, so I don't have a definition. I'm just going to follow your
Well,
lead.
there,
So how do you understand? May I answer your question? May I answer the question? And may I answer the question or no? So since people have thank you, sir. Since people have competing definitions, maybe we should use a master definition so we're all on the same page. That's one way to have a good conversation. And since you brought it up, I'll let you provide a conversation.
I guess you could define feminism as women being treated unfairly because they're women. And feminism responds to that and says that that's a wrong, that women should not be treated unfairly. They should be treated like a human being. That's how I define it.
Any response? He wants to know how we feel about that definition. This is a scintillating conversation. The conversation that Reform brought up doesn't affect the regular person. We should shut the fuck up. So this is a scintillating and tantalizing topic, and he gave a definition of feminism that even Wollstonecraft herself would be proud of. Thank you, Kenny. Would anybody like to discuss this wonderful and important topic that Kenny, the teacher, brought up? Because remember, he teaches.
You're doing a great job moderating, too. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Sorry to interrupt you guys. Really, Ben was talking about a very important thing affecting our daily life. I'm sorry, Kenny. No one cares about Kim Kardashian because you ask every day. We need to hear something. The fucking gas is $6 here. What the hell are we talking about? He was really talking about a very important thing, and you're as curious about feminism. I don't give a fuck. There's a ton of gay people. They are fucking each other in the ass. I'm sorry to be very clear. They don't give a fuck about feminism.
not sure why AWS got in there, or how it got in there, rather. But just gonna go by that. So yeah, you suggested something, it didn't work. Um, so just gonna move on. Yeah. Move
Wait, first lady
on.
is there.
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me? Am I breaking up?
Lady?
I'm here. Am I breaking up?
No, you are not. Just that.
Can you hear me, first lady?
I can now.
Okay. So, First Lady, you're saying that the man that told us our conversation was shiz because it didn't affect their average person, the teacher, the man who teaches about households, even through the Bible. You mean tell me he offered a topic and no one's interested in it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it
Okay.
appears to be that way.
Okay. Oh, as you would say, okay. Okay. Can we now go back to presidential corruption and the fucking reason why we have the United States in part because of corruption of the sovereign or the executive? Or does Kenny want to talk about feminism, with arguably the worst single definition of feminism I've ever heard in my life?
I think everybody want to finish what you were talking about and keep Kenny and Kim Kardashian alone.
He said he can't conversation alone. um, yeah, perhaps maybe we could swing back and, to that conversation later, but we're gonna move forward. Okay. The corruption. So I don't understand why people don't see it. Yes, he was done incorrectly. The real question is why couldn't he wait another year and a half?
Or sue before. He could have sued. He had a year and a half to sue before he got back in office. He specifically waited until he was in office. That's the issue. But I don't want to belabor the point because presidential corruption and the corruption of our government doesn't affect the average person. I'm going to pay for the $1.7 billion.
I don't think it makes sense. Why would he wait to actually, like, if he can actually ensure that he's going to get the outcome that he wants, why would he wait? Like, if he actually wants to win the suit and he can be in control of the negotiation process because he's heading the executive branch, then why would he wait if his goal is to actually win?
Right. So if he could do something, so as the head of our country, if he could do something illegal, unethical, immoral, and we don't know if it's illegal or not, why wait? That's right. Why not be corrupt? Why not steal taxpayers' money? If you have the final say on it and you the boss of the people who are going to give you the money, that's a great point. Why wait? We should have local officials do the same thing. Right? They should be stealing money from the municipal workers. They should do all. Why wait? When you're in office and you're in charge, go ahead and steal. Just go ahead and take, because you're in charge and you get the outcome you want. That's right. Get in power so you can take taxpayer dollars. This is the intellectual conversation I wanted. This has been it.
Yeah, I mean, this is what white men have done for ages. Is this new information to you? Why not do it?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Wait,
And it's we should just roll over and take it. We shouldn't talk about it. First Lady, what do you think of feminism?
Don't laugh at. I'm just, Omari, why are you giving him a 100? That's what I want to know, because I don't, to be in office, to have the control over that office, you're the boss, and I don't see how y'all don't see where that's a conflict. I don't understand.
No, I think Omari was saying that he's corrupt. I think Omari was actually.
I saw that he put that in there, but he did 100 on the boy when he was saying something else, when Kenny was saying something. I'm like, why are you saying that? What are you doing?
Well,
I need to understand.
black male Trump supporters have to do everything to find ways to justify. Oh, everybody's got a place to do it to they have to normalize. Yeah, they have to normalize Trump. So they have to do it. Totem Pole is the only one with integrity so far that's really come through. I at least give him credit for that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm still. I mean, I'm
He breaking up, buddy. Is he breaking up, Phil?
It doesn't matter either way.
It does. Because Kenny, we can't hear you, Ken. Kenny, we couldn't hear what you said. I want to hear what you have to say. But is it possible, because when I'm sitting here and I've been listening, I haven't said anything, haven't interrupted, I haven't did any reactions, nothing, zero, doing different things. But I continuously hear you use the word opponent. Do you think this is a game? I want you to really think about that tonight when you lay your head down. Is this a game for you?
Hold on. Mountain. This is for blacks. You're not welcome here, Mountain. You called me a nigger 4 times the other day. You were calling all of us niggers. You're not welcome here, bro. You need to leave on your own, or they're gonna go with you. So you can do what you want to do. You called us all niggers. You didn't want to talk it. We were talking about. So you can either leave on your own, or we'll just boot you. I'll give you 3. We'll give you a few seconds to decide. Sorry, First Lady. This is a man that called all of us niggers the other day because he came in a conversation that his mods were having. And in the midst of that conversation, he didn't like it. He said these niggers are taking over the space. He used niggers several times. So we'll see. Okay, he's still here. Bye. Lock for life.
What you said?
Bye. I'm sorry, First Lady.
No worries. No. So
That's an N-word execution right there.
Yeah,
That was a good one. He set it up good.
I mean, so I just, what does that mean? Why are you continuously speaking as if
Hello?
this is a game, like you're fighting on the side, my opponent? Like,
I'm actually not. I'm not following.
you don't follow when I'm asking you a question about your use of the word opponent.
Oh, but my use of the word opponent was directed at Van because for some reason Van deems me as an opponent.
I don't.
He used that word?
I didn't use that word. I said I wanted to know how.
Well, functionally, that's
Wait a minute.
That's
Hold on. No. It was quiet in here. Reform was reading the back of a brownie's mixed box. You need 2 eggs. She was done. I said, I think Kenny down there. We know I always sit in conversation to hear what people think about voting Trump. I mean, be careful to Omar. A lot of times people say to a corner. But Omar's giving good reasons about the all that stuff. And so I wasn't calling anybody an opponent. You said it's an election 2 evil, so I was wondering how he was illegal. Then I got about abortion. I don't like it as my opponent. We're not at a team this union. I'm not James Baldwin and you're William Buckley. It's not a debate society. I'm talking to y'all in the same chance. I'm about to be an expert. What are you doing?
So the reason why I asked the record one on this, go ahead.
I don't want to. Okay. Yeah, I'm on stage because he invited me. I'm respectful. I want to show my feelings. I felt that Dan was not allowing my speaker to have nuance. When I pointed it out to him, he got offended and basically said, well, I'm not going to have a conversation.
Okay. One second.
So at that point, that was hope.
Oh, okay.
To say, well, I don't speak on my phone. Well, folks, that's what they know. So, regardless of
Hello guys, This is why blocking spam call.
I can't even understand it. Is that me?
No, it's not
What I
you.
need to concede. But what I don't necessarily tolerate is, am I breaking up or something?
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
We've been trying to tell you that, but you're yapping.
Kenny, okay, so let me, I was trying to stop you, but then I just went on and let you go because I didn't want you to think that I was trying to.
Well, regardless, irregardless, let him go. I've never heard someone correct themselves after saying regardless with irregardless. I've never heard that. I love this app. I hear things I never hear in real life. He said regardless and then corrected himself by saying irregardless. I never heard that. That was interesting.
All right, so Kenny, I was saying, or asking about the opponent piece, because I was relating that to the fact about how you're not taking a moment to look at the case and understand your argument. You're arguing saying, well, why wouldn't he do this while he's actually there? Well, because it's supposed to be America first. So, you wait and have it litigated by people that you're not the boss of. That doesn't mean he's not going to win. He's definitely probably going to win. I mean, if he was wrong, he was wrong. So,
So I guess, let me try to tell you why I said that, right?
Okay.
If I posit that Trump is a fascist, right? And I know I'm not saying you're doing that, but that's typically the narrative. Maybe you agree he is a fascist, but he's a narcissistic fascist. Right?
I don't put titles on
I know, but
anyone.
I know, but the majority of individuals, that's what.
So
they
now
say.
you're projecting on us. I thought you didn't like when people project.
I'm actually not.
Now
I'm
you're
actually,
projecting.
hold on for a second, man.
You just said the majority of people do that. The majority of people don't do that.
Yeah, so let me clarify. You're right. Let me clarify what I mean by that. So the majority of his opponents argue that he is in fact a dictator, narcissist, fascist, all of those things, right? So what I'm doing is that I'm taking that to its logical conclusion. If in fact that's what he is, right? Why would he wait? If he is a corrupt fascist, why would he wait when he could just wait until he actually gets power and then sue when he actually has control over the negotiation process? So I'm asking you guys, what's wrong with
you
that?
already
If that's in line
lost.
with who he is, what's wrong with it? That's all I'm asking.
Well, just because a person is a thing doesn't mean that it's okay to go ahead and be that thing.
When will you fight?
You always hope that people make changes or try to do the right thing.
You are pathetic.
But in the way that you're thinking, you're
pathetic.
saying
Why
accept
not
him
make it
for what you already
0.01%
know that
or
he
$1?
is, and allow him to do the thing that we all know is wrong. That is upside down thinking.
Oh, man beats his wife, First Lady. We know he beats his wife. Why talk about it? Let him beat his wife. He's a wife beater. Doesn't affect the everyday person.
When
So
will
it's
you
fine.
fight to win?
If man beats his wife, we know he's a wife beater. Well, of course he should beat his wife. This is a wife beater. And
Exactly.
if it doesn't affect the everyday person, just beating one woman. Who gives a fuck? Let's move on to talk about feminism.
Yeah,
What do you think about feminism?
and that's why earlier I initially was trying to lay out if we're gonna have.
Hey, Ken, do you drive F-150?
1 second, let him finish up. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's why I initially laid out is that if I'm going to have a particular grievance with this, which I don't necessarily like, I mean, I think it's problematic, but I don't take grievance with it, meaning that I'm going to go vote towards it. My point was that if it's something that we feel like should not happen, then Congress could easily just create guardrails preventing this to happen, but that's not a part of the conversations that I've heard. I haven't necessarily heard individuals when they're discussing this. It's only a way to just say Trump is evil, Trump is bad, he's corrupt. Which, okay, I agree with all of those things. If that is the case, though, we can easily create drills to prevent things like this from happening. And that was my submission to the room.
We
And
can
somehow
easily.
because Ben deems me as an opponent.
Yes.
He wants to continue to reduce the nuance of my position down
It's not nuance.
and try to make it as if I'm derailing the room when he brought me on stage to have a
Kenny,
conversation.
I'm trying not to have any crash outs.
Listen to Kenny's logic. Congress could easily pass a law curbing Trump. I want people to hear that. Congress could easily. That's what he just said. That's the
That's
nuance.
not what I just said. That's not what I said.
You
Wrong.
did say that.
No,
You
I
said
did not.
Congress
No, I
could
didn't.
easily.
You keep doing it. You don't even realize you're doing it. It's so
You
sad.
literally just. Personally, did he not just say that? Hold on, Kenny. Hold on,
For
Kenny.
clarification.
Hold on, Kenny. Hold on, Kenny. First Lady, did he just say Congress could easily pass a law doing X, Y, and Z?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, he did.
That's not what I said.
Yes, you did.
I said
That is
Congress.
what you said.
Okay, well maybe he meant something else. Let's just
But
hear.
that is what he said.
Okay,
Is that what he
yes,
said or not?
that is what he said.
Thank you.
It sounds like he wants to say something. That's not the interpretation he was trying to get. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, so that's actually not what I said, guys. I didn't mention anything about Congress passing a law to curb Trump. Congress can't do anything at this point to curb Trump. They really can't. What I was saying is that there's an issue in regards to the argument is Congress could introduce guardrails to prevent these types of things from happening. Conservatives argue, but this is the actual argument from conservatives. If Congress were to do something like this, all it would do is create a fourth branch of government. That's what I said earlier. And because ban.
Wait a minute, slow down. There you go. Slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down. Let's just stick to the. You just said it again.
No, it's
About
you guys
Congress.
are missing it.
Okay, all right.
Not
One more
about
time.
Trump.
One more time for me, because I'm slow. Hold on.
Trump is already suing the IRS.
Yes.
He's already president. So what I'm referring to is in the future, not right now, because Trump's already doing it. Okay?
Mhm.
He's already in control of the executive right now. I'm saying to prevent things like this from happening, not to curb Trump, to prevent things like this from happening in the future, Congress could introduce guardrails. That's what I said. Nothing about Trump. Because Ben, again.
Okay. Kenny, stop doing the meta. Stop doing
I'm sorry. I want him to crash out. That's why I keep doing it.
I know, but wow. Like,
because
so,
it's fun. I'm having fun.
okay.
Hold on. What does that mean? Congress could introduce guardrails, and if it's not a law. And then the second question is, what would the fourth branch of government that conservatives say that will be created from said guardrails? I don't even know what that means. Break that down. That makes absolutely no sense.
Sure. I can explain it to you, man. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Do them one at a time. I can't understand them. Is that just me?
No, you're breaking up, Kenny.
preventing. Can y'all hear me now? I'm on
Yeah.
Explain what a guardrail. Explain the guardrails that Congress could create. And how do they create it?
Sure. One, you could require an independent special counsel or some sort of federal judge to approve settlements involving a sitting president, right? That could be one potential guardrail. A second guardrail, you could straight up ban presidents from financially benefiting from settlements that are being negotiated while they are in control of the executive. Irregardless of any of those things, the argument from conservatives is that is a fourth branch. It's going to have a fourth branch problem because all of these individuals would be unelected bureaucrats essentially. And my point is, if I were to take the position that, hey, this is wrong and we should prevent not just Trump but every president from ever being able to do something like this, regardless if they have a grievance or not, they should be able to do something like this. Then I believe that you have to be on the side of, hey, Congress should introduce what I just laid out for you.
Okay. How is a federal judge a fourth branch? So of the people he named, federal judges were one of them. How would that be a fourth branch? And why would conservatives be upset with federal judges doing things when federal judges are quite literally Article 3 of the Constitution? That doesn't even make any sense. Secondly, on the independent counsel, there's already laws on the books regarding independent counsel. Thirdly, depending on the settlement, there's already laws that judges have to approve of them. I mean, what would I don't. Irregardless, it doesn't make any sense to me. Um, it's all Greek to me, as Casca says. In Julius Caesar. I don't know, man. People swear they know what they're talking about, and it's hard to have conversations with people who suggest that federal judges would be a fourth branch of government. They're quite literally in the Constitution in Article 3. I don't even understand. Irregardless, um, that makes no sense. I don't know, First Lady. I'm not gonna crash. I got 10 seconds left before my next set. I'm gonna use every 10 seconds. I got 5 seconds left. I'm gonna just say irregardless until I'm done. Irregardless, 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 irregardless.
Hush. um, you just trying to trigger that boy. Now you know that ain't right. Kenny, did you want to respond?
No, because he didn't. I mean, I don't disagree with anything he said. He wasn't arguing against my point. I said conservatives. I said conservatives argue that it's fourth branch. I agree that it's not a fourth branch. But that's what conservatives argue. Like that's what a lot of them would argue. Like I said, so I don't necessarily disagree with what he's saying. Again, what the problem is that ultimately you have to take a side. Like you can, okay, so you don't have to take a side. Let me rephrase that. You could just say, hey, what Trump is doing is wrong, and you can complain about it, right? In my opinion, I think that that's fine. I think complaining about it, stating your grievance, is wrong, he's corrupt, etc., etc. I think that there's another side of a group of individuals who are saying, hey, we should prevent anyone from ever being able to do these things. Because if, in fact, he's doing it right now. He's doing it. We all agree to that. That's the conversation. So my point is that if you're going to have, if we're going to have another conversation that we can have that can be centered around, okay, is it imperative for Congress to prevent things like this from happening in the future? And I think that it is, because if they're going to argue and debate about it, I don't think it should just be centered around Trump is corrupt. I think it should be centered around, hey, this shouldn't be something that's possible.
Well, let me just let you in on something. I need to rewind the tape real quick because, you know, people go about different ways to have conversations. When we were in the middle of having a conversation, you butted in and said, I don't think we need to be talking about this. You don't remember that? So, you know, yeah, we can have the conversation. We can get to that. You know, if in fact that is the idea. But part of the problem, and nobody's necessarily focusing on the corruption more than understanding that we're breaking laws and norms that we all have been used to. And once those things are broken, it's hard to go back to them. So you're saying, and what you're suggesting is, well, just go ahead and let them do it. Go ahead and let them do it. And then we'll fix it on the back end. Right? That's what you're saying. That's your suggestion.
No, that's not what I'm suggesting. I'm saying, okay. Yeah, I'm speaking from a realistic, not saying you guys aren't. I'm saying that he is doing it right now. He's going to continue to do it. So he is in fact suing.
Okay, so you said don't fight this battle.
I'm not saying, okay, hold on for a second. Okay, again, I don't know how much more clear I can make this. I'm not giving like some sort of prescription for what everyone else should do. I am saying that what Trump is doing right now is that he is suing the IRS. I personally think that is a conflict of interest, and I believe that it should not be something that's able to happen. Now, am I willing to think that there should be guardrails that Congress imposes? I don't know. That's where I'm on the fence about it, because I don't know what that would necessarily look like. I know what the arguments have been for that I've heard when I've had conversations with Democrats, what they've said should what these guardrails should look like. But I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. But I think that ultimately, if we're going to have a grievance about it, it can't. I think it should be principled and it shouldn't be Trump just centered at Trump. I think it should be a principled position. Hey, this is wrong. President should not be allowed.
Let's go back to feminism.
What's the conflict of interest? I'm also
They
curious.
should be able to take money from taxpayers, essentially.
I don't even know what. Could you describe what the conflict of interest is with? I mean, just as a principle, a party suing another party.
What's the other party?
So you saying Trump is suing the IRS? Where's the conflict of interest?
Okay, so is Trump in control of the executive? Is he not the one that's gonna? Is he not in control of the individuals that's going to be negotiating these things?
You talking about like him having an attorney within the IRS?
No. Okay. So is the IRS under Trump's peer?
It's not a conflict of interest. He can sue personally. That has nothing to do with him sitting in office as an executive, and 9 times out of 10 he has an attorney. He's not pro se suing the IRS.
What are you guys saying?
I don't understand what y'all.
No, that's actually not. Maybe we can put the. Go ahead, Ben.
I guess what I'm confused about is like when, just as a general matter, like how does it become a conflict of interest? For example, if you are an employer, you sue your employee. If you're a superior, you sue an inferior. Just as a general matter, I'm just curious about what the conflict of interest would be, and how can a judge not resolve that conflict of interest?
I'm gonna explain how.
Wait, we're putting Black Freedom. Maybe you can get caught up with what's going on. So a judge has already ruled. Ben, can you explain it again?
I haven't been following this particular matter, so.
Well, I'm confused.
Adverse
I'm confused.
possession, not
Wait, you're
adverse.
you're saying the sitting you don't see it. I'm not confused. Do you know the IRS, Trump versus the IRS?
I haven't been following that litigation. I'm just curious about like the actual term of art, conflict of interest. Like what's the particular
The
conflict?
conflict of interest is that, okay, so Trump is the plaintiff, right? So he is the person suing. The IRS is a part of the executive
So
branch.
we're talking about suing your own agency essentially within let's say the executive authority, right? Is that what
Okay,
you're referring to?
Yeah, so the individuals that Trump is suing, right, are part of the executive branch, which Trump is control over, which means that the president he appoints all of the executive leadership. So that means the DOJ that's defending the government, like they're defending the government against the plaintiff, which is the person that put them in leadership. Do you not see the conflict of interest?
No, I was.
So you saying that the government can't sue the government?
Wait, let me read this part, and then I'll put something for Black Freedom. So Trump is suing the IRS. He's trying to make a settlement. So the settlement is expected to stave off a concern raised by the judge overseeing his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS, who has ordered Trump and the DOJ to justify by next week why the case should be able to proceed. In a ruling last month, U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams questioned whether Trump and the defendants, the Treasury Department, and the IRS are sufficiently adverse for the case to proceed. This is her words. These are her words. Moreover, although President Trump avers that he is bringing this lawsuit in his personal capacity, he is the sitting president, and his named adversaries are entities whose decisions are subject to his direction. Indeed, President Trump's own remarks about this matter acknowledge the unique dynamic of this litigation. Trump's words were in October. It's interesting because I'm the one that makes the decision, right? And you know that decision would have to go across my desk. It's awfully strange to make a decision where I'm paying myself. So this is not theoretical. This is literally what's happening. But I'll put the article in the chat.
Okay, that's different. There's no adversarial party. I was thinking like as actual technical legal term, conflict of interest. Like normally, so for example, if I have a conflict of interest, it's because, for example, like let's say I would have to if there was an employee of mine or an attorney of mine who was representing an adverse party, I would have to
That's
wall
what's
that
happening.
person off.
So that's literally what's happening. Because the DOJ lawyers are defending the government essentially, but he appoints them.
Yeah, I put the article in the chat on Black Freedom. If you're not familiar with it, it's actually a pretty big thing. Trump is actually suing, I think he has 3 cases. I think one was for, so one is for the IRS for the leak of his returns. The other one is when they went to Mar-a-Lago for the documents. I think he's suing that for $320 million. Does anybody remember the third one? I could pull it back up in the article. Ben, do you remember? There's a third case that he's suing. I can't remember, but it's 3 cases. But the IRS settlement is the one that's at issue. I'm still reading about this, y'all, but yeah, Black Freedom, you may want to read up on it.
There's
It's
a couple
significant. Yeah.
There's a couple of ways he is pursuing the payment of a civil suit that was won against him, and he's suing to stop the payment on that lawsuit. Everyone that has really studied Trump knows that he is self-determined not to pay one penny, dime, nor a plug nickel, not even a red cent in taxes. If he does happen to be entrapped and has to pay taxes, he will go after them to get the goddamn money back.
I think they already
And that's-
ruled that he doesn't have
yes,
to
ma'am.
pay E. Jean Carroll. Sorry for interrupting. Is that what you're talking about?
I know exactly, you know exactly. This
I think that they already
the point is
ruled
greater than who.
that.
Yeah, the point of the question, now the pertinent cross-examination question again is contained in the statement. The judge who asks, why in the hell should I allow this matter to go forward? That is the pertinent cross-examination question. You
I
can't
don't think
sue
that's
yourself,
what.
you can't reward yourself, you can't be in between you and the law that has been put in place to bring justice. You cannot do justice by yourself. You will naturally, by human nature, rule in the favor of yourself, regardless of the witnesses, regardless of the evidence, and regardless of the testimony, that you will rule in favor of yourself every time. Who goes down and say, well, I'll plead guilty and I'll sentence myself to 7 years in the penitentiary, which is there about what could be, if there is a Justice Department at all, there's at least 7 years contained if it is discovered a scandal or an impediment to justice or unidentifiable means that he is the one being sued or he's the one that would suffer the loss. So when they say identifiable means, meaning he is the accused and he turns around and becomes the accuser.
Yes, sir. I
It's an
think
impossibility
we're.
to.
I think
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
just
It's an
interrupting.
impossibility.
I think
Not only
we're
is it
just.
an obstruction to justice,
Okay,
it's
just
an
1
impossibility to arrive at justice.
Right. I think we're
And I land my
just.
plane just saying my.
Okay. I think we're just explaining it for Black Freedom. But anywho, yeah, I'm gonna look up the third reason. And I just want to point out what Amari said. I know leave the chat in the chat. But Amari, just because Black Freedom is not familiar with it, that does not mean that it's not a big deal, sir, respectfully. Just FYI. This is a very big deal. And the slush fund would be even more of a big deal, or whatever it is that he's trying to do. Big, illegal, unethical deal. But Black Freedom said he was reading about the specifics. What are you talking about? It came up on the New York Times Google search. The creation of the settlement came up, sir. Yes, because I pay attention to this. We've heard about this. Like, are you serious right now? All of our information comes from the news. I don't think any of us are correspondents. And as much as you stay in Donald Trump's ass, you rarely bring any actual news to the table, except when it has to do with the subjugation of black men, because you forget that you a nigga. What's going on? You want no? He's talking shit in the chat. I'm tired of him.
Like, always got something to say. Like, what are you talking about? We're talking about this because it is news. Like, what is going on? I don't understand. It's news. You should be happy that Donald Trump is getting a settlement. Your big daddy is actually going to settle with the IRS. Your fellow brethren, the J6ers, you're not going to praise the fact that 1,600 white people are going to get $1 million from Daddy Trump? You should be excited, Omar.
Okay.
Not only is it establishing
No,
phase of
Uncle, one
justice,
second, one second,
it's
one
a
second.
miscarriage of justice.
Uncle, please, 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 one second, one second. So, Omari, you said, so if I got this right, he was saying, well, if Black Freedom doesn't know about it, then it's not that important? Is that what he was saying?
Yeah, that's absolutely wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with the lawsuit, but what I will say is that again. Go ahead, man. My bad. I didn't know.
He said it's a big deal, and he said a big deal on Clubhouse. And he said outside of Clubhouse. I said yes, it's big in the federal courts, and for those that care about the constitutional order of the United States. And he said a Clubhouse real lawyer didn't even follow this case. So yeah, he was saying because that he didn't follow the case, then it could be a big deal. Of course, it is a big deal because it has everything to do with adversarial interests, adversarial parties in court around the president, something that hadn't been worked out before. It literally goes to the relationship between the branches. It goes to the core of the Constitution and order. But it's a January 6th thing, and you have to remember, his homegirl got shot down. And so he's always on Trump's side of January 6th because they shot his homegirl down. Remember, that was Amari's friend, the girl that got killed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the good news again, it is in the hands of we the people, and if we the people decide to stop that goddamn case, it will be stopped. It's just you don't have enough self-determination.
Ambassador, please.
Well, I'm just saying to you the truth. If you don't want me to say the truth, it's fine.
Well, don't say the truth. Don't say the truth.
Fine. But again, the case can be stopped.
Well, it may not be a top story, but there wasn't a story that we wanted to talk about because we had already covered it. What are we doing? Chill back, chill out. Yeah, because right now, if we leave from this, there's nothing else to talk about, for real. So, I mean,
I'm okay, First Lady. I forgot that I haven't eaten, so I'm gonna go eat. But Omari, I follow news about the IRS, sir. I suggest that you do as well. But anywho, thank y'all for having the discussion. I did not realize that. So he's maybe Dan, you look like you read a little bit more. So he's suggesting the settlement. Yeah, I saw that, your mom. He's suggesting the settlement, but the case itself is still being litigated. Interesting.
Well, the good news is this is not the evil of Kamala Harris. You know, she had an abortion policy. When people could have personal responsibility and not have abortions, or you have a better economy, which leads to fewer abortions. But even though we know this guy's evil and corrupt, he was still the lesser of two evils. So that's a good thing to know, because we're in a war. 187 girls killed. Those girls don't matter because they're Iranian. War all over the world. Prices through the roof got worse. Gas through the roof. But guess what? This is not as evil as Kamala Harris would have been, because she would have had an abortion policy that I don't know what the policy would have been, because presidents don't really seem to set abortion policy because they're now done at the state level. But hey, does it matter that Trump's abortions have gone up since the overturn of Roe? It's her policy that was evil. And that's the worst evil, right? Cutting food stamps and meals for Meals on Wheels, or cutting Medicaid to take care of the poor, which actually comes directly from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, for those of you who know the Beatitudes. That, of course, was more evil. So to show her policies It's more life-giving. But she was the evil one. It's because she's a black woman. And because she's a woman. We all know it. Everything she was going to do was more evil than this guy. Can't crash now. Got some more squats to get to. I'm done.
The way that MAGA substantiates any and everything that Donald Trump does literally has to be studied. So Omari's supposition is now that it is a quote-unquote filler story. We literally have individuals come in here and talk about random counties all across the country that none of us live in, have been to, know a single person, and we talk about,
Well, let's talk about this part of it, the downplaying. I think it's very dangerous for them to continuously downplay stuff like that because it normalizes it. So I agree with you in regards to the downplaying. If in fact the thing is wrong, you gotta work on the thing that's wrong. You can't downplay it and say, oh well, it's just this. No, because then people think that you're accepting it, and then they do more, and then they do more and more and more. It just gets greater. So the more you ignore, the more you actually welcome it in this situation. So yeah, you gotta stop downplaying it. It's not cool.
Let's talk about feminism. What do you think about feminism first? Let's go to the topic that's really gonna affect people's day-to-day lives. What do you think about that?
I don't know, child. I don't know. I don't. You know. I'm grateful that I didn't live in a time when feminism did not exist. I know they say they have several different waves of it, but I don't know.
How do you think Kamala Harris's policies are more evil than Trump's? Because remember, they were two evils. So, which one of her policies? Give us a few policies of hers that are evil. I got 7 seconds for the next set. Opponent, 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 opponent.
Yeah, I thought it was irregardless. Irregardless.
Let's switch with each one. Opponent.
This guy's crazy. You know, I don't focus on those. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. That's my answer. I just know that it doesn't make sense for somebody to have a conversation about abortion and then not care about what's happening to the numbers in the present time.
It's insane, isn't it?
That's pretty weird.
That's pretty weird. Now, I'm the one that gets blamed for flattening nuance. So I'm talking about the material effects on the ground, which, if you're interested in abortion, that's an issue for you. It's not a normative concern. It's an applied one, right? But I'm the one that's not into the nuance. It's insane.
So since we're back to my view now, I'll go ahead and chime in here. So again, there's a difference between the number of something that happens and the legality behind it. So one side advocates for federal protections for abortion. The other side advocates that it goes back to the state. Both of those views to me are evil. Like Trump's view is evil. Kamala Harris's view is evil. Both of them are. Because in my opinion, the non-evil view is federal abortion ban. So, but because I deem both of them are evil, I have to see which one of those are the lesser of two evils. A person that says federal legal protection for abortion, and the other one that says, hey, not like I voted for Trump. Like, oh, abortion is going to go away now. The idea was, well, at least it's moving away from at least it being a legal right.
Okay.
So that's why you removed the nuance. Hold on for a second. You did remove the nuance, and you actually just did it again.
You never mentioned state and federal ban.
The
Hold on,
reason
bro.
you're doing it,
Oh,
the
you're
reason
not-
you're doing it is because you're my
You never mentioned federal and
opponent,
state bans before. No,
opponent,
moderator privilege. Hold on one second, brother. Hold on. Just to be fair to me,
opponent,
and I'll let you finish. Hold on,
opponent.
Kenny, we don't want to move you down. You never mentioned federal and state bans before. You never said that federal and state bans.
Yes, I did. Come on.
No, you didn't.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he doesn't tell the truth. There's no need to have a conversation
Kenny,
with
what's going
him.
on, bro? You never mentioned federal and state bans.
You're being ridiculous now.
Wait a minute.
If
Wait
I'm
a minute.
speaking,
Hold on.
to legality
First lady, did he
and policy,
speak?
what am I talking?
No, you never said anything about.
Hold on. First of all, if you were speaking to policy, okay, but let me answer. If you were speaking to legalities,
I can't help
let me
it.
answer. Let me tell you.
You
If
can't
you're
just
speaking to
assume what-
legalities, if you're speaking to
So if you're
legalities,
confused, that means
oh,
you're
shut the
confused.
fuck up, yo. Shut up. If you're speaking to legalities, you would actually be speaking about Dobbs. You didn't mention Dobbs. You didn't mention a federal ban. You didn't mention federal protections or state protections. Okay. That happened in 2022. The election was in 2024. Okay. Opponent. Regardless. He's another dummy. I gotta be honest with y'all. Why do Trump supporters lie? We just heard this man lie like 4 times in 20 minutes.
At least.
Did anybody hear him mention federal ban? Federal
No,
protection? He did not.
no.
Did you all hear him say he did not say that Congress could easily pass?
And then
XYZ?
came right
He said
back
he
and
did- the fact that he didn't say that? Come on, man. I think replays are silly because people, do weird stuff with them and chop and screw and stuff. But I'm starting to reevaluate replays. He literally said Congress could easily pass X, Y, and Z. I didn't say that. Oh, I mentioned federal bans. He never mentioned federal bans, federal protections, or anything. He's an idiot. It's hard to have conversations with these people. They all lie. All of them lie. The only one that doesn't lie, you talk to the MAGA, is maybe Jamal. He might be the only one that doesn't regularly lie. They all lie. It's strange. It's really strange.
Well, I think the reason why he don't tell too many stories is because he's too busy bull cracking around. So.
Well, he said he's a teacher.
Oh.
What? Kenny. Oh, I'm sorry. He says he teaches. He didn't say he was a teacher. Did you hear him? So I don't teach
No.
that. Didn't you hear that?
No.
That's
I heard
wild,
you
yo.
calling him a teacher, but I wasn't paying attention when he said.
Oh, when I said the thing about submission, he was like, "Oh, I don't teach that." Didn't say that. People wanted to know what he taught. Yeah. You have to go back up because I don't lie. You can see it. That level of lying is insane. I never said Congress could easily pass a thing. And then he said there's a bunch of conservatives who would call it a fourth branch of government. He ain't named one. I talked to Democrats, and Democrats have these guardrails, and I don't know about it. He ain't named one guardrail, one Democrat. Kenny is a prime A1 bullshitter. That's all he is. He's a liar and a bullshitter. He lies and bullshits.
I thought he was a good guy. He had a nice.
I thought he was too.
Did he have a little suit on, a little shirt and tie?
And he was kind of cool. But then with a lot of this stuff online, I know y'all don't like what Brooke does. A lot of this stuff, I'm telling you, Donald Trump would not have won if it wasn't this online gender stuff. It is this gender stuff. I'm telling you. And now he has to double and triple down. You heard him say, well, why wouldn't he do it when he's now? Huh? Did you hear him say that?
Yeah, but then he was sitting there fighting to tell Black Freedom, why it's wrong and all that. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let him go ahead and talk.
Oh
They can't
no.
bring. What?
Oh no. Look who's on the court. You know, my self-esteem is not low today, but if I play these guys, I'm gonna come out of here feeling like Anthony Edwards. Ooh, they're playing full court on this one. Oh, I'm about to go over there.
Not paying the YN. That's a
They playing full court. You gonna play with them? Is it the East Asian?
Yeah. I cannot confirm or deny, but I will say, if I brought my laptop in to be fixed, they could fix it.
That's nasty. You play too much.
You can't even have a honest convo with the that was an insane. That man said he mentioned federal protection. That man never mentioned federal protection. I don't understand it. Jamal is the only one. I was wrong. I don't understand. You know why? You know why it is, though. First lady, you know why it is? Can I tell you what the problem is? They feel like it's racial betrayal. I think a lot of black Trump supporters who said, let's try something different. I like Democrat, and they see the bad effects on them and their communities and black people generally. I really think they feel like race traitors, and this is how they deal with it. That's what I really believe. I really believe they'll know that Donald Trump is terrible and terrible for their communities, whatever that is, and they just can't bring themselves to admit it. Whatever that stage of grief is, and I don't know if that's the first stage, but they know it's bad, and so they get around people like me and you and others, and they're like, come on, man, and you want to actually, they just can't admit it. They feel like they're race traitors. I never heard a bunch of black men going around talking about loving Donald Trump. This is the weirdest thing. What? And this dude is here's long wig, and you defended him like he's your daddy. What? You 50-year-old man in love with a president like that? That's crazy. Crazy.
Well, okay, so I hear you. Maybe that could be the case for some. I also think that a lot of them grew up telling stories. I'll tell you.
You
Some
saying
of
they
these-
got a lying habit?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. I'm really, I'm being super 100% honest on how I feel.
Yeah, you say this a lot.
Every time I speak with them, it's always, I gotta pull the truth out. I gotta go here. I gotta go there. The only way I got to get him on track was by asking him about the opponent. I'm asking him, is it a game? And then it was like it started softening him up. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, well. He's like, well, I didn't say it was, I'm not saying it is right. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, why don't we focus and do this? Now he's coming up with all these creative ideas. Why weren't you there a few minutes ago? So I think it's just the ability to come up with these stories and be able to tell them. Because all of them have the same talking points. And, some are very creative with the talking points. Some can't sell it as well. But I think, yeah, they didn't get corrected as a child in telling stories. Or if they did get corrected, they just learned how to lie more. So that's my theory.
I don't think people supported Obama this much. That's what's crazy to me. And I've noticed that, like, they will double down on defense. Like, where is Notorious? Like, they will just, it's like they are in love with Donald Trump. And I don't understand it. Like, they can't articulate or regurgitate any of his policies, any legislation. You're right, First Lady. It's like they all get the same, YouTube channels or Fox News or X.
It's a secret download.
Right. It's like, but to hear them mimicking white MAGA because they're in this spaces because they're not welcome in white MAGA spaces. That's the crazy part.
No, that's not true.
I mean, if somebody's calling them the N-word, a lot of them have come in these spaces because we've argued with these people for years on this app. And I'm like, why aren't you with your
I don't want to be in
brethren?
a place where people are calling, that. But, here's the truth coming out. Because I do believe that they created this, let's come together and fight, these Democrats because they are just bad. They're trying to change the world and we don't want that. So they came together, they united under those premises, forgetting that a lot of these people are still racist. So then you're like, okay, well, I can't sit with them because, I still have some kind of dignity. Not all of them. I literally heard some of them sit there and kiki with it and be okay and find ways to continuously fit in. So I think there's something about how, the acceptance of that side means a lot to them. And they also are addicted to the badass about Trump. Trump is badass. I ain't gonna lie to you. I will. Y'all can hate me if you want, but he, the way he talk, all that, they love that. They enjoy it, and that's what the Democrats hate. The Democrats don't like it, So, but these people, they eat it up. They laugh at it. They find it funny. So they like that macho kind of thing. I think that's the feeling that that they vibe off. So, and because they like that feeling, they'll do and they'll say anything to continuously keep it. That's my rant. I have nothing else.
I don't think that Trump is a badass. He is a privileged, wealthy, billionaire white man. There's a dime a dozen. They can Peter Thiel. They can the CEO of Apple. They can there's hundreds to choose from. He's a foul mouth, orange, diaper wearing. Like they literally look. I was looking.
Well, what about
from
Musk?
Musk is a racist. Have y'all seen him online railing against James Cameron because Lupita is in the now if y'all want to see that, if y'all want to
Christopher Nolan?
Yeah, oh thank you. Christopher Nolan. Have y'all seen that shit? Him literally losing his mind because Lupita is in the damn Odyssey movie? Elon Musk is a racist. I do agree. Trump just said it's anti-boule. It's anti-establishment. It's like it's trendy to be pro-Trump first lady, which I don't understand. But I don't think that Trump is a badass. I don't. He falls asleep in meetings. I look at the man in his suits. Did y'all there is something back there. And I'm not hating on the elderly, right? Because, Jesus be offense with incontinence. It could happen to any one of us. We don't know how we're going to be in those elder years. But my God in heaven, that man, the back of his suit, it hunches up like that. You can literally see it. That man is wearing a diaper. That is a big ass Depends.
Okay.
And nobody can tell me otherwise. I'm just saying.
Okay. I mean, I'm not here to debate you.
Well, that's not a badass if he's wearing a big ass diaper. That was my point.
Okay. And
But I have some opinions.
your point is well taken, and I'm gonna pass it right to you.
People on the chat just
The badass part, if you don't think it, then that's fine.
No,
For
I
me,
say no
what I
words.
think is what I think. I think that he's badass. The fact that I can fall asleep and still have a fucking job on TV, yeah, I'm bad. Hello? around with a diaper and shit myself and still have people respect me. So, again, that is my I think they see power in him. I think there's some other people that want to introduce some additional stuff. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I know you're mad about that. Take that out on other people. Let me, I got something. Lupa Nyong'o is playing Helen of Troy. Helen of Troy is the daughter of Zeus.
We're just like, we got enough.
I'm actually
On and on. People in the chat were just like, we got enough.
I'm confused. I actually am not confused.
This is my real eyeball, and I am throwing it away because it's not real. I have been lied to.
USA safe
He is, yeah, it's really silly. It reminds me of the hate about the Little Mermaid. It reminds me of, I'm not a fan of the Hunger Games, but do y'all remember when the little young girl, I can't remember her name, when they found out that she was being played by the black character and they were really, really racist? I can't remember her name. If anybody's a fan of Hunger Games. Ruth, thank you, April. Lost their ever-loving mind. So, I don't know. I don't even think they've read the Odyssey. I don't think they read the Iliad. I don't think they know who Odysseus is. Then, like that Kevin Sorbo, who y'all remember him, played Hercules. They were like, your ass ain't Greek, so you played Hercules. He is tweeting shit. They're tweeting shit about like the coastline, saying look how it's being portrayed in this movie. And he put like a resort picture, and people were like, your stupid ass is couched in mint, so that they couldn't find it. Like they are melting. Have y'all seen this on X? Talking about beach is not attractive, all kinds of crazy shit, man.
No, let me tell you why I'm confused. This is why I'm confused.
This is your
I
moment
saw
to.
he had tweeted out or retweeted somebody that had like a bunch of fake Greek posters. It said like Obama and Ryan Gosling was playing Obama or Muhammad Ali. And I'm confused because I didn't know that that was in response to the Odysseus movie. I mean, to the Odyssey. So Muhammad Ali is an actual person who many of us have seen in person, was killed by Obama. So the reason I'm confused, I remember the other thing. I didn't know they were responding to people playing gods. Because you can't use real people.
Oh my God.
I didn't know. I saw something like, what if Muhammad Ali was played by Ryan Gosling? That'd be kind of weird, but Muhammad Ali does not know who he is.
Evelyn, drop it. Drop it.
When can they find out the actual author of us?
Am I in a stressful situation? There was a
No. There was no hope.
There was a Homer, but the Homeric
Several historians have flat out said this didn't exist.
So my wife just had her wisdom
I
teeth
posted
removed,
it.
and she's not allowed to
How
eat
you wanna
hard
live
foods
whoever
for the next week. So to
Yeah, so Kevin
improvise,
Hart.
we got some Alaskan king crab, and since the meat is so soft here, she's able to eat it. So we found a good middle ground for her
I didn't like it.
to be able to still eat good,
It was
but not hurt her wisdom teeth. So enjoy your little crapsicle.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Alec.
Hey,
Stop! But you know, when
We're not changing.
Time to say goodbye to the giant pile of foam in my backyard.
Link is
Oh,
in
back
the,
there when I shoved it
chat
all out the
link.
door after having ripped it off my walls, it was in my workshop. I made a custom
But if
foam
y'all
room that I'm
look,
moving
like,
out, so
Elon
all my
Musk
hard work
is
has
just,
got to go. What's crazy is that when I recycle this, it will get turned into carpet pattern,
prepared to
so
look
my
at
art
it.
installation is going to
The
get
way that they have
reinstalled
these
under someone's
meltdowns.
carpet. We're putting all this foam into the
Oh, look,
recycling truck,
he's
except
still
it's full of
posting
all
this
the other
shit.
stuff I'm recycling. Yeah, these guys have. Do you want
And
to receive a free
wokeness.
Bible?
And yeah, it was what Dan was saying. If Ryan Gosling played Barack Obama, if Anthony Hopkins played Nelson Mandela, if Viggo Mortensen played 12 Years a Slave, losing their goddamn mind. Alec Baldwin defended the pizza jungle because Elon Musk has a better tendency to actually attack her looks. He tweeted 6 minutes ago, I agree that she is beautiful. The casting a black woman to play a white woman in a foundational work of European literature is no more right than casting a white man to play Shaka Zulu. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all know my hair phone. Did he say a white foundational? White foundational. I'm sorry, y'all. That is funny as shit. The Odyssey is a foundational work of a white. Oh my God. Elon Musk is tweeting about Shaka Zulu. That shit is funny as hell.
In Mannheim attack, and Afghan attacks, and anti-Islam rally, and
Guys, Temu is absolutely insane.
My personal opinion
is, for what it's worth, is that she's
Just-
done.
just
You know,
one.
she
I got
smoked her-
several.
She had her chance and had her shot, but she missed it. I don't think she'll be the Democratic nominee. I would love to.
I'm not disputing your point. I'm saying what I said.
that's just.
I said it was not real. That's what I said. Wait. Let me rephrase. The person who wrote Iliad and Odyssey was not Homer.
Okay, yes, we've known since before I was born that it was a collection.
That was my literal statement.
Bars.
Man.
No, wasn't.
We were literally talking about the fucking Odyssey.
No,
dude.
There you go, folks. You see it?
was a collection of Greek bards. However, there was someone called Homer that scholars have found. That's what I said. Your literal statement was Homer didn't. It's fine. We agree. We ultimately agree. That's cool. There was not one single person